Hello everybody and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. This is a bit of a departure from our usual videos which are made in the morning. This is an afternoon video, as you can tell by the sun over the sea. An afternoon in early March, and it's very cold. In fact, my face is so cold. Excuse me if I sound a little bit odd because my face is frozen. So I'm showing you the view over the edge of the cliff because this video is all about Uncle Tom's cabin. Now, this is pretty much where the original Uncle Tom's cabin was. And of course today that's a go-karting track, which used to be the old boating pool, which a lot of you will remember enjoying on your holidays as youngsters. But Uncle Tom's cabin apparently was at the site, more or less, of where the cabin lift is. And these cliffs, as they're known, are protected by an artificial stone rockery, which has been here a long time. But did you know that in 1810, gypsies had begun camping here on the cliffs at North Shore? And Sarah Boswell was one of the big draws, lots of fortune telling and futures being read and things like that. And they had to move down to the pleasure beach where they famously lived before the pleasure beach was developed, because of erosion of these cliffs, because they were just slipping into the sea. And in 1850, the original hut of Uncle Tom's cabin was built on the landward side of the cliff, so kind of on the other side of where we're standing now. And a Margaret Parkinson, in the first place, had sold sweetmeats, nuts and ginger beer to people that were around and about. So the hut was on this side of the cliff. And it soon became known as Little London. It was really popular and really well used, and everybody then, just like we do now, used to enjoy coming down here and enjoying the view and getting a little bite to eat and something to drink. Her husband Thomas owned 3 cottages north of Gin roundabout. Well, it wasn't a roundabout then, but north of the Gin. And he developed it into a refreshment house. And he was known as Old Tom to his friends. So there you go. Now, if you're wondering, a lot of the facts and data that we use in our videos, all this interesting stuff, it comes from Nick Moore's History of Blackpool and the Fylde Coast. It's a fascinating read. There is a link to it in the description to this video if you want to peruse it at your leisure. So this guy that was married to Margaret was actually called Tom, and then in 1852 Uncle Tom's Cabin was published in America. So you can see that it's a short leap from being called Tom, Old Tom, to being called Uncle Tom. They capitalised on it, and why not? And you can see now where we are arriving to. So this site here where we're standing at the minute was the site of musicians and dancing on the grass, and they had a wooden dance floor and a drinks licence and sideshow attractions. And by 1861, this, what is now fairly quiet, nice spot for walking, was Blackpool's first centre of amusement. And it inspired others to copy it in Blackpool. And then in 1871, James Daniels, who was a local carpenter, carved an Uncle Tom from the story and mounted it on the roof of the assembly room at the original cabin. And by 1880-81, there was an 18-week long season, which, well, must have been incredible at the time, bearing in mind that tourism had not really developed at that point. But there was still no road to this spot from the Gin. So if I just turn around and I can show you where the Gin is. It's not that far. It's only sort of just there, and the Gin pub is just slightly to the left. But there was no road at all, and people had to either pay for a carriage or walk on foot. But the cliff then started to erode, and it was moving inland 40 yards a year. So you can imagine, I mean, 40 yards is, well, nigh on 45 metres for the sake of argument. So possibly, in fact, thinking about it, possibly, the boating lake is perhaps the extent of what used to be the original land. Could be. I'm not very good at imagining what land looks like in, what a number of metres looks like in flat land, but you get the drift. So when the cliff started slipping, obviously it posed a problem for them. And in 1902 there was a serious landslide, and in 1903 the figurehead was taken down, and in 1905 it ended up being put up for sale by auction, and they couldn't get enough for it. So at that point I'm going to show you this picture. So this is the current Uncle Tom's Cabin that you no doubt are really looking forward to coming back to as soon as you can. As soon as you can when we get the nod. And I'm going to show you a picture now of what the old one looked like. So this is the old building on the cliff. So I'm not quite sure. I think it's possibly taken sort of looking that way. But nonetheless, that's the old Uncle Tom's Cabin. And that's what it looked like back in the day. So on the 4th of October 1907, it did actually finally close. They didn't really have any choice, because a lot of it had collapsed into the sea. And it moved to this site on Queen's Promenade. And in January 1908, what was left of it was demolished. And then in August 2017, this reopened as Mark Kelly's. So there you go. And you'll have noticed, if you've not actually been to it, you'll have noticed when you pass on a lovely warm day in summer that there's this front area is absolutely full of tables. It's full of people having a good time. They have entertainment on and people singing outside, and a lovely atmosphere. There is a plot of land at the back of here as well. We'll take a little walk around this corner and I'll show you. Which has been the site of markets on a sort of an ad hoc basis. And they've got planning consent in, a planning application in to build flats on this site at the back of here. That's Warbrick Water Tower straight in front of us. And that's a story for another day, Warbrick Water Tower. So this site here, it's actually bigger than I thought it is. I didn't realise it was so big. Is where they're going to build the development. Don't know whether the planning permission has been passed yet for it or not. Perhaps if you do know, you can leave us a comment below. So that's going to be some more residential flats. So that's Uncle Tom's Cabin. One of the oldest places in Blackpool, and certainly Blackpool's first amusement arcade. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Visit Fylde Coast YouTube channel, and that you've hit that little bell for notifications, and then you'll know when we've uploaded new content. So from a very cool and very cold Uncle Tom's corner, we will bid you a good day. Bye for now.